The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits. What's happening, OctoFam? I'm going to try and prep y'all and prep myself all at the same time, so hang on, we're going in for a ride. To oil. Is that the first time y'all heard me say oil? We're not talking about EV? We're not here. We're talking about investing in oil. Are you kidding me? We got to follow where trends are going to go, not where they're at, right? Check this out. This is a great write-up I found today, and I was like, dude, I gotta go over. Gotta let you know, all assets must have some call mania, oil included. Note the explosion of oil calls traded recently. This is hardly your everyday Reddit trader. Second chart shows the RSI again. On a big chart, this is getting rather extreme. I'd agree. Look at this oil chart. Deluge. ICE WTI call trading soared on a record on Friday. Look at this. Do you see this white line just towered? Let's say we had, maximum of around 2,000-ish for sure, was real high. Went over 8,000 call contracts on Friday. Something is up. We either had a burp in the system, which definitely can happen, or people are really piling back into oil. And I think it's a good indicator to watch. If the big boys are putting that many long contracts on oil, I think we should be too, or at least maybe trying to pivot to a side play, something like that. This is like 15-year-old chart, by the way. This isn't 1 month or a year. This is 15 years, the highest call contracts by far. Here we go again. This is another way to look at it. I'm not exactly sure how this one was measured, but this is showing the cost of the contracts went up to basically 83,374. This chart here is from all the way back 11, 12 years. And that's all-time high also from the past 11 years. I think it's just WTI. Unbelievable. The forgotten oil FX. The oil melt-up has left many oil-related plays waiting. Classical FX oil plays have lagged this latest oil move. The chart shows oil and NOK, not the Reddit NOK. While NOK is trying recent highs versus the euro year, oil is much higher. Second chart shows the rube versus the oil. Obviously, this is a slightly more exotic play than NOK, but the logic is similar. Oil laggards could well be coming into play. Look at these charts. Oil is up. Euro NOK still hasn't moved yet. It's still sitting around. You see how they're usually going together? It'll lag it like this, but it's kind of like that Mara and Riot thing where there's that rubber band effect. Like one will get out of play, but then they snap back together. So when you see it like that, you can get into like this Euro NOK and wait for that rubber band effect to come back. It's usually what's going to happen. It's usually on a bull pull. So when they snap, the one that's lower will go higher. It's usually not the one higher that will go lower. They usually only go lower once they're together, and then then they'll break together. Okay, just keep that in mind. Here, same thing. Here's the rube versus the oil. Same thing. It's kind of got that rubber band effect. So when this one goes lower, that one goes higher. Eventually, they're going to snap and cross paths again or rip together. Pay attention. Oil from Russia with love. The chart is rather self-explaining. Oil has continued to squeeze. One of the biggest consensus trades has been the EM long. So far, this has played out very, very well. The EM is not what it used to be. Long gone are the EM days where commodities, and particularly oil, played a big role. Main components of EEM are Asian tech names. For old school oil exposure, take a look at stuff like RSX on a relative basis. Biggest companies are listed here. Something to just pay attention to. RSX is way out of whack compared to oil and EM. You see how they're usually a lot closer, but you can see EM and oil up here has completely broken chain. RSX is probably going to keep up. We don't talk about a lot of like future-y, old schooly type of stocks here on, I'll just call it. But it's time to pay attention. And I said the other way that we can look at it is there's always the side hustle plays too, right? Because the reason we don't like playing a lot of these is because even when they get out of the whack, they're still only like 10-15% out of whack. So the stocks that we trade in, we're like 15% max gains, forget that, and I'm with you. But just hold on tight. Like I was saying, there's always like small oil plays that haven't caught up yet either. So if we can get into like small oil miners, producers that haven't popped, that's where we can multiply, stuff like that. That's what we want to find in oil companies that are well known but are just beat. That people are like, I am never touching this thing again. Help me find some. Help me find some people. If you know some, let us know down in the comments, please. Chasing big oil at a discount. We even had some big oil. Here's some brands. All right, on top we got Brent. You see the separation? Remember the jaws we talk about a lot of times? It's a rubber band thing. What is down below here? None other than Saudi Aramco. Maybe Saudis are focused on something else right now. Can anyone name maybe what their Saudi Aramco might be focused on? Michael Klein? Maybe they're just going out to eat too much. They need to refocus and get back on oil. Maybe they don't. I think they will. I think no matter what, they have their hedge now. Listen, right? I think they have their hedge now, but they know who's the daddy. The daddy's still oil. Oil's still going to be around for at least 10 to 20 years. No matter what they're going to tell you, we still definitely need tons and tons of oil to burn through. It's not a light switch with EV. As you've seen, it's not like they can just make stuff tomorrow. It usually takes years and years out. There's something else that's kind of interesting. Check this out. Global macro hedge funds are now long equity positions. Did you hear that? Hedge funds are finally coming back and going long. Global macro hedge funds are now long equities again to the tune of 1 standard deviation. A significant shift to the situation 9 months ago. They weren't touching nothing. They were just trying to short everything. We all know what happened with that. But still, some more buying power to get the historic max long positions. You can see here, let's call this March, probably this down to here. We've still been scared, consolidated, but we're ripping back up again here. All right, how about some copper? Green copper? Do we need green copper? Does anyone know what the Statue of Liberty is made out of? Does anybody? Green copper demands to rise very fast. You can sum up a whole investment theme in one chart. The one below certainly fits that bill. It doesn't even include cars as EVs. It require much more copper than traditional gas guzzlers. Reality is that for the green energy transition to be reality, it will require a lot more copper. As a result, copper globally is getting harder and harder to extract. The ores, we need more copper, we need more copper. Copper intensity of the different current weights, whatever, coal, hydro, gas, solar, onshore wind, offshore wind. Remember we were talking about some of those plays where you can actually put wind out in the Gulf of Mexico or out in the ocean somewhere. Where better to harvest energy than the ocean? Can anyone name that stock where we can put the things even that like jamming down into the floor, go down like 30 meters or whatever, and they just take the waves energy and convert that? We still need copper. Everything needs copper, man. Why are we talking about copper? I'll let you figure that out. Copper exists supply versus potential demand. Supply's going down. We need more. Demand's going up. All right. We need to get in some miners again. We already knew this, but especially with all this EV, it's something that I haven't even really been thinking about lately. And check this out, bonds. The MOVE index, the bond volatility has continued grinding higher despite the recent VIX reset to lower. Yields closed as high, the highest in a long time on Friday, while SPX printed another all-time high. The question is, can the VIX, the volatility thing, stay low? Although it is not dirt cheap as market has realized lower lows with moving grinding higher. I know, that's the big question. We can only base the fear level on what we've seen in the past. I probably, now that I'm reading this, are people just like they just don't care anymore, or they're just not scared? Does anyone actually think we're going to get another market crash? I definitely do. A lot of the old schooler people for sure think and know that there's going to be a crash. Is this still just the big old fake out? I don't know. We can look all the way back into time and see the VIX before March. We're still not there yet, is what it's showing. We're getting close though, right? We're getting close. You know, I know people that have still been buying into this, and I think it's still good to hold some, at least some, a small amount. Getting into calls and stuff, I probably personally won't touch unless something crazy macro happens, like they light switch crypto, which will happen someday. You know, light switch crypto, light switch the trading platform, stuff like that. Then I'll be looking for calls in this, but you know, just be careful if you're getting into the VIX plays, because a lot of them are really volatile. I think it is healthy to get them. Sometimes it could take a week or 2 or 3 of holding it before it finally pays off. You can be 20-30% down, but all of a sudden we'll have one of those super crash red days, and you'll make it right back up, and all of a sudden you're 30% up on the day. So just pay attention. It's just odd getting to the point where you've got all these big boys going long on stuff. They're going long equities. They just got really long on oil. I mean, what? It's just kind of, it's still in that crazy position. Are the big banks just doing the last big fake out to pull the rug out from underneath us? It could be that too. They're like, you know what, let's get together and I'll buy a bunch of long-term option calls on these 2 stocks to make everyone think that we're going to go long now. And that'll get the final people in before we pull the rug out. It could be that too. Or they could literally just be going long on stuff. They could. We could still have another year of this. If we do, I'll be pretty surprised. But just want everyone to pay attention to all this stuff that's going on, because these are big factors that happened just the end of last week. Pay attention, please. Okay, PDAC, Peridot. Talk about this one. Well, there is a rumor from Cycle and the Rooster Academy. The Rooster Academy came out and said Cycle and Peridot might be pairing up. What is Cycle? They're an electric vehicle SPAC recycling battery play, y'all. They take batteries from every type of electric battery out there, whether it's from your drill, your race car, your Tesla. These people literally take the batteries, and they don't even like barely do anything to remove plastic or nothing. I watched them in their video. Go to their site and watch their video. I'd show it here, but Google likes to take my pages down when I show other people's videos on my videos. So you're just gonna go have to watch it yourself. But they literally take just like a DeWalt battery, throw it on a conveyor belt, you know, some old Duracells, whatever, and just toss them all on the conveyor belt, and it goes up to a thing. It sends them up to this burner, and out shoots out chunks of nickel, cadmium, copper, all that stuff, cobalt. It's crazy. So what are they talking about? I'm sure they're talking about $1 billion. Yep, they're saying that it's going to valuation the company at $1.7 billion, according to people familiar with the matter. If you don't know, most time when roosters put out a video like this, it comes true. They're even saying as soon as tomorrow, it could come out and be admitted to the public. So this is not 100% official, but we got to be known about. We got to know about it. If you want to read more, come to the website down below in the description and read it. It's very interesting play, especially to me, because we've been in some stocks that have basically done the same thing. Now, these guys, like most of the people in the battery industry, are claiming they have a bunch of patents. They might have one, but what they're saying is they can literally pull out way more than anyone else. They're saying like they can take a DeWalt battery, throw it in the hopper, and it comes out 98% of just raw material, which is crazy, and they show it in the videos. And if that's true, and they can be more efficient, they really have a patent that's worth something, this could be huge in the next 5 to 10 years, 20 years. Just think about it. Canadian company, but they have a shop that's already running in Canada. They also have one in New York that's almost done, and they're looking to start one in China and like 2 other countries also. And that's where SPACs are beautiful, because they can take that SPAC daddy money and finish the factory in New York and then do the one in China and go all over. So these guys are being aggressive at expanding. I love it. I absolutely love this play. I'm all for it. We recover critical materials from lithium ion batteries and reintroduce them back into the supply chain. How many tons are working with? 460,000 tons, 1.7 tons cumulative of lithium ion batteries estimated reaching by the end of globally by the end of last year. I'm not sure if right here they're saying 1.7 million tons or 460, because they put the same date. I'm guessing they were supposed to be like 2025. So I think we're probably at basically 500,000 tons. It's going to go 1.7. They said by 2030, it's going to be 15 million tons a year. That might even be a low guesstimation with all the influx of laws making it impossible to even buy gas or cars. It's a total EV play, electric scooters, whatever you got. Full service lithium ion battery recycling, closed loop resource recovery, logistics management, they do that. Add-on services, they do that. Secure destruction. They're staying up on their press releases. Leading Lion recycling company Li-Cycle names Wilson MA VP of Corporate Development. They got a new VP of Corporate Development. They achieved the ISO and R2 certification for environment, quality, and health and safety. They got the certs. They win a big innovation award this year. They just won. Check it out. They get black mass, mixed copper and aluminum, and they can separate that. Hub products, they literally just pull out the powder, dude. Lithium carbonate, cobalt, nickel sulfate, manganese. The reason I like this play too, they don't got to be out in the middle of the cold or the middle of the hot, dealing with tractors or nothing like that, trying to pull it out of the rock. It's a mess. It's super dangerous out there. They're just going to pull it and just chemically pull it out of stuff that other guys already worked real hard to get. So this is technically a mining play. You can kind of look at it like that. I like it too, because you're investing in all EV with one stock. Even if Tesla gets another bad Chinese press release, which will happen, I'm gonna hurt these guys. They're still just gonna be recycling batteries and selling the stuff to everyone else. Plus, you know what? I think the cost of all this stuff is gonna keep skying with all the rest of the precious metals. We all know that too. It's gonna keep going up because demand is gonna keep going up. And it's like, it's so hard to even get a mining contract done just to be approved. I was telling you guys before, it could take like 10 years to get a final approval to mine somewhere. Provides all customers with assurance that their battery recycling requests are consistently handled with the highest standard of care to minimize risks along the way. This is a full service company. They can even take the damaged ones and figure out how to handle them. They probably charge more for damaged batteries, I'm sure. Reverse logistics and cross-border transport, so they can cross borders from North America, maybe Mexico, Canada for sure, I'm guessing. All the awards, certifications, they've got them all. Impact stories, it just keeps going. Hiring like crazy though, bro. Check this out. Gonna watch all this. You see how it's all over too? Nigeria, Ontario, Illinois, Georgia, New York, Ontario. Driver warehouse, document controller, director government relations, UX experiment. Ontario, Bavaria, Southwark. Did you see all these jobs? And I didn't even like try digging. There's even more I didn't even put up. This is a very good indicator of progression within a company and the ability to do it. I absolutely love this. Who wouldn't want to be a commercial lead in a remote location? Sounds pretty fun, right? You want to go to Munich, Bavaria? Anybody? How about London, Southwark? Pretty crazy. Who can we compare it to? ABML, American Battery Metals. This is a smaller cap stock that we've actually done a video on. I don't remember where it's at when we're doing the video, but it's multiplied for sure. So anyone that was in it, congratulations. I hope you multiplied, made a bunch of money. This is going to be a bigger one because the SPAC is going to start at 10. I think this actually is already at like 1250 or something because it's a pretty well-known SPAC. This one does have some Biden ties with it too. So I'm guessing that they could easily hook them up with some contracts, which is fantastic. So if we can get some sort of government contract with this, Biden says we have to recycle 90% or 80% of all batteries that any manufacturer makes, any new law where they say something like that, we're going to make money. It's again one of those ones I ain't scared about nothing because they don't got to produce anything. What's the liability? And they're already doing it. It's not in 4 years they're hoping to be able to come up with a world-changing battery. No, they're just going to take these, whatever battery you got, and turn it in the products that you need. I absolutely love this play. One more piece of news, and I swear we're done. Renew Power, we've talked about this. I believe this is India's biggest solar and wind company. This is actually the second press release that's actually talked about this. It was actually put out that PDAC, the one we were just talking about, and or RMG acquisition DOS was talking to them, but now we know PDAC is going with the other ones, and RMG is looking like #1 frontrunner for sure. This is another rumor. Said that it could be coming out, I think, beginning of this week. They're valuing it at $4 billion. If y'all see my video on IEA, it's like the biggest, baddest play in America version of this. They've done super well, and they have a ton of space to keep going. First thought on this, I was thinking, dude, you know that Lucid's going to be trying to hook up with these guys. Why? Because Lucid is going to be doing backup battery systems. You know they're going to play the whole EV thing where they're going to be like, oh yeah, we use solar panels and windmills to power our Lucid plants in Saudi Arabia, whatever. You know, I could just totally see him hooking up with these guys. So what am I getting at? I think this one's going to rip too. Maybe not right away, but dude, if the Lucid brand can get tied to Renew, which I could totally see, I think I can do real well. Well, you know, we need to find out. We need to find out if Renew Power has got any love from the Saudi Wealth Fund or whatever. I'm sure we can figure that out. Anyone know? Let us know down in the comments, please. Planning to share $4 billion company RMG acquisition, Riverside Capital, Renew Power. Yeah, I think we got this figured out. If this is something that you're already in, congratulations. I was hoping that everyone would get in. Whenever you get these pre-rumors that come out, you should be buying. If you haven't figured it out yet, you should be buying when the rumors come. All right. It could be too late tomorrow. I don't know where this is going to pop tomorrow morning. But again, if they do end up 100% getting this company and bringing it to fruition, I think that it's going to be huge. It already is a huge company. It's just going to be brought to the stock market. I think it'll do very, very well. Is anyone already in this one? It's the new RMG. I don't even see the ticker. RMG acquisition, whatever the second one is. I'll try to, someone put it down in the comments. Find it for me. Help us out a little bit. Hey, and did you know that we had a Discord? We do. We have Patreon and Discord. If y'all want to join that, please do it. It definitely helps out the channel, and it definitely helps you out too. People are absolutely multiplying like crazy. My favorite thing too is they're stopping making mistakes. If we can help each other and mold each other into some just money-making beasts out there, fantastic. Let's do it. Thanks for watching this video. We will see y'all out there tomorrow. Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.